just talk about what you guys are feeling after the Florida game and, how you parlayed that into this night tonight, all 5 starters in double digits and, really a very balanced game?
I think we just had to forget about it quick. Our first loss of the season, so we had to bounce back. We knew we had to come out swinging. So that's what we did tonight, and it showed up, and we got the dub.
Just like you said, we had to bounce back. We took an L. We had to come out fighting. Team should be afraid to play us after an L. Hopefully that was our last L. That's pretty much it.
Do you feel like you guys learned from the Gator game that you were, maybe better than you thought as a group? Did you take any inspiration, even though it was a loss coming into the game?
I say yeah. I mean, against the Gator game, we missed a lot of free throws. Practice, we were working on free throws, and it showed today, I think.
I also think that we came out with a different mentality, knowing that we lost to the Florida national champs, but we knew that tonight's a whole different day, a new game, new chance to show what we can do, and just a time to improve.
True for you. Maybe it probably didn't take you to be such an effective and efficient scorer. Like, it seems like during the Florida game halftime, you just started scoring the ball more, and then you came out today being an effective scorer. Just what was that mentality just to get you into, all right, cool, I'm going to score the ball and just push the offense?
Just my coaching staff is just believing in me, My coaching staff, my teammates, they want me to be the best I can be at all times. First half in that game, I was kind of in a slump. They never shied away from me. They kept telling me to keep going, and they just filled me with confidence.
2 questions for Shelton. First one, how do you feel like the game has been slowing down for you? And the second one is, if you had to pick one thing from tonight's performance that travels, what would that be? Like you could keep replicating.
I think the game slowing down for me, it's going to come with experience, especially from the Florida game. I learned a lot. It's one of my worst games I ever played, so these guys put a lot of confidence and faith in me. So I just came out today and bounced back. And then what I'm going to keep building on, just playing as a team. We get a lot of assists together, so I'm just going to keep playing off these guys, and they're going to keep playing off me.
True. As a team, 3-point shooting, you guys had some. You guys, the 2 of you obviously did. What does that do for your team when you guys are able to hit some 3-pointers in a game?
It means a lot. I mean, just like sharing the ball, getting paint touches, just making it easy, making the right plays. Inside out is one of the highest percentage 3 shots we can get, and that's what coaches want us to work on and execute.
True, defensively, the first half, they shot over 60%. What would you kind of notice from your group defensively there in the first half, and then maybe what you thought changed in the second half?
Coach changed up a little things. We start going under. We start pressuring the shooters. That was pretty much it.
Can you talk about how the team is different when Ernest isn't in there? The Elon coach was just talking about how even the the physicality that he has wasn't there, but then the team was able to play a little bit faster. How did you guys see it without him in there?
I think we're playing 4 guards and 1 big, so we have a lot more speed we can play with and just run out and transition. And I think that showed, especially when we got the rebound. Anyone could push it, so I think that was the main difference.
Sheldon, you said earlier that you felt just about your thoughts on the Florida game, how you played. What was it immediately afterwards? What was this week like for you leading up to this game, or these few days, I guess? But just can you talk about your process getting ready for this one?
I just had to forget about it. I tried to forget about it as quick as possible and bounce back the next day. I got in the gym same night we got back. Just mentally, just focus back and talk to the right people. My teammates texted me, told me forget about it, and it was my birthday the next day, so I couldn't be too mad.
What's the main thing that stood out to you about your performance? What's the thing that you thought about the most about wanting to play better?
Just keep my confidence up. Can't let a game waver me. I got to stay level-headed at all times, and I think the season is gonna. I'm gonna have my ups and downs throughout the season, so I can't be too down on myself for too long.
Sheldon, for you, what was more impressive, the 4 steals or keeping your fouls down as much as you did?
I think keeping my fouls down. I've been struggling with that. Transitioning from high school to college with the refs, it's been different, but that's my main focus, just not fouling, so I can stay in the game and play.
You guys had 54 points in the paint. I think you're averaging like around 50 points in the paint every game. Just talk about how much a big part of the offense that is for you guys.
That's really our main focus. Coach is telling us to get to the paint, make plays, play off 2, make the right plays, get to the paint, kick it out, open 3s. Just make the game very simple.
We'll take a couple more.
What's the biggest what's the biggest thing that the coaching staff has been hammering into each of you, for both of you, on the defensive end?
I think just stay in front of our man. We got to work on guarding one-on-one and not letting people get in the paint and make plays. But I also think we're very physical. So when they get there, we just got to body up and not allow easy buckets.
For me, coaches want me to stay disciplined, not to reach as much, and stop gambling. Give up fast breaks. I be trying to gamble in the backcourt. Coach told me I got to stop doing that. Just stay solid. I'm a great defender.
It's always good to come out with a win. You can't take those for granted. It's that time of the year where you look at some of these teams and these games, they get in these games and you watch, I was watching San Diego and Stephen F. Austin or somebody was the other night there in a dogfight. So it's that dogfight part of the year right before Thanksgiving because everybody's kind of looking around the corner. I thought we had some residuals from the Florida game that still lingered. Then we have Ernest out. That changed everything. So then we're starting differently. And it was it was a different game for us. And we did a good job in the second half adjusting on the fly. The first half was shaky, but the guys did a good job of just staying consistent. And then we found a way to get over the hump in the second half to kind of give us a little bit of a cushion. So I thought that was the difference in the game. I thought our size and our physicality wore on them at the end, and that's part of the reason why we pressed a little bit to try to speed the game up to get them out of rhythm. They're a rhythm team. So we had to find a way to do that and find a way to take away the threes. And in the second half, we were able to do that.
Jay, just specifically defensively, you speak on maybe what you saw in the first half, what led them to the highest shooting percent numbers, and then maybe the changes in the second half?
Well, I was concerned about the three-point shooting, especially with all five people being able to shoot. So we started the game switching everything. And we worked on it for the last couple of days of practice. But then when you get out there, the teams move a little bit faster and quicker. And so part of it was a new adjustment that we tried to see if we could limit some of the threes and take away some. And they got some just off of us over helping. It wasn't necessarily our switching. We just kind of got stuck when the ball was in the paint. And so that led to some of their threes. And then we kind of adjusted and we started to go under in the second half and just try to keep the matchups as much as possible and try to keep them out the paint as much as possible because their paint touches, which is a big key to what we do and what we try to eliminate, led to a lot of their threes.
Is some of that switching underneath, or going underneath some of that without Ernest in there, because there's play differently?
Yeah, but a lot of it was predicated on them. Number 7, I want to say his name right, Cutthrill. He's a pick and pop 5-man. They play him at the 5. He's had a game. He's capable of hitting 4 or 5 in the game. He shot 8 in the game earlier in the year. And I really wanted to make sure we took away the 3 and tried to limit their threes as much as possible. We were able to in the second half. But I knew they could be capable of coming in here and making 15 to 18. They shoot it that well. They're making 12 a game. Half their shots are threes. So I kind of wanted to eliminate that and take that off the table. And I thought if we could limit them, we'll be able to beat them.
I had 2 questions. One is Ernest, what is the injury situation? Is it serious? Is it mild? How long do you think he'll be out? And go ahead now.
I think it's mild. Tonight was more of a precaution than anything. Just making sure we can get him as close to 100%. We'll see what it looks like on Sunday. But it was more of a precaution or something that just happened in practice. It's nothing serious, no surgery or anything like that. But we just want to make sure he gets healthy and get healed.
And also want to know, what did you tell the team coming into this week after the Florida loss? What was sort of your message going into this game?
Well, the big thing for me is I feel like we're still a new group. So we're still growing and getting to know each other. But I'm trying to make sure I give them as much confidence and they have as much confidence as possible because I do think we have a chance to be really good. And the Florida game was a good measuring stick and a good test for us to see where we are and what we needed to do. And the one thing I really wanted to get out the Florida game was just to see if we were at the competitive level that I felt like we needed to be, and we were there. Of course, we missed every layup and every free throw and some execution stuff down the stretch. But, we get midway through the second half, and it's a 6-point game. So we're still right there after having an awful first half and a not great game. So just seeing that made me feel good about where we are, but it also showed me what else we need to do, and we got a long way to go.
about the free throw shooting? It's a little better.
Yeah, a little better. And we've been shooting good. I think a part of the Florida game, which was good for us, is just a different environment than being at home. The way it was set up is more like a conference tournament, NCAA tournament type of arena. And set up, it was a road game, even though it was neutral. I think a lot of that just being in that moment for the first time, and you say the first time, but we have a bunch of guys who played in big games, but it's the first time on this team and the first time with us together. I think a lot of that just we played to the moment too much, and that led to some of the layups we missed, some of the shots we took, and the free throws. So, we'll continue to work on it. We've been working on it. We were shooting good until that game. We were a little bit better tonight, but if we can get to about 75% as a team, that's kind of where we want to be.
You've spoken about Tru defensively.
Yep.
Just offensively, what he gave you tonight, what
Yep.
he's been giving you these 5 games, just what you've seen on the offensive end.
Yeah, True's a basketball player. So, my thing with him is just preaching to him to just stay engaged and guard because he can be one of the best defensive guards in the country. The way he plays, he just finds a way to stumble into points. You know what I mean? He'll end up with a steal or he end up with a corner three or he come up with an offensive rebound like he did a couple times tonight. So for me and for him, you don't have to hunt offensively. It comes to you naturally. You're going to find a way to stumble into 12 points every night. I need you to be engaged defensively. And that's going to continue to be kind of my whole thing with him for the rest of the year because offensively he'll be fine. Because of the way he plays and how we play, it kind of benefits him. But I just need him to really lock in on the defensive end. I need us all to, as a unit, to lock in on the defensive end.
Shelton told us about how he took the Florida game individually.
Yep.
For him to bounce back,
Yep.
young guy, just tough one. Just immediately, what did you see from him?
When you're a freshman and you get in those moments, you can overthink. And my thing with him is shoot the ball. We've worked on your jump shot. We've done all this stuff over the summer. You've done this stuff your whole life. We get in these moments, shoot it. You've done the work. So go ahead and shoot. And I was happy to see him shoot some. And for all our guys, we got to shoot some. We have now we're not the 2014 Warriors. We're not anything like that, but we have a good shooting team. We'll be able to make between 8 to 11 a game as long as we shoot the right ones. But some of them we just got to take. You know what I mean? And Shelton's one of those. True's one of them. Trey's one of them. Timo and Dante also, those guys have to shoot the open shots for us because we're going to get in the paint. And teams are going to start to converge and teams are going to try to take the paint away. And now we got to be able to make some shots and have confidence in shooting.
Got time for a couple more.
Coach, Elon, they shot over 50% from the floor, but yet you forced 18 turnovers defensively. What do you feel like worked defensively in terms of ball pressure and making them uncomfortable in the half court? And also wanted to know, there are stretches where the activity just spiked up, where you had deflections, steals, transition buckets. What triggered those momentum swings?
A big part of watching them is they run really good offense. He does a really good job. They're going to be a lot better than pick 12th in their league. I know that's what they're picked, but they're going to surprise people. They got good size. He does a good job. They run a real hard-to-guard offense with all the shooters they have. So a big part of what we need to do is get them out of rhythm. So that's why we pressed a little bit more. We trapped a little bit more. We tried to speed the game up, and it benefited us because it led to those 18 turnovers, and those turnovers and 25 points from those turnovers are kind of the separator. And on the other end right now, it's my main thing I'm on the guys about. We're too inconsistent. Like you said, we have spikes and then we have dips, and this is common with 12 new guys and 12 new teams. But, I can show us how good we are at times, and I also can show us how bad we are at times. So just getting them to understand why and what makes us consistent is all I'm trying to do right now. And so, it's like you said, sometimes we have lapses that builds to that inconsistency.
Coach, all your starters.
Last one.
Double digits. Just how offensively do you see this team coming along after like you just mentioned, the ups and downs and the spikes, but there are those glimpses that they can all be very effective in scoring?
Yeah, we're a work in progress. We're a work in progress, and we'll have to adapt and adjust throughout the year. Depending on what's going and how people are guarding us. I didn't think Malik was at his best today, so we had to adjust from that. But Shelton, Dante, Tru, Trey, the guards, picked him up a little bit. We're also without Ernest, who's a big part of our offense. I know his numbers aren't great, but just the way that teams have to be aware of the lob and be aware of him and the dunker adds to our offense. And him not being there, it kind of stunted us a little bit. And, you know, it's the first time where things were different. And so we had to adjust on the fly. But the biggest thing is just continuing to search, kind of like I was talking about defensively, but offensively, just consistency. Playing consistently, putting together a 40-minute game is a big part of it.